Hello, my lovely Scorpio, Sun, Moon, Risings. Welcome to your weekly pre-shuffle with me. This is the pre-shuffle that I do for all the signs before I head into the actual weekly reading that I do every week for every sign over on Patreon. And I'm doing these pre-shuffles on YouTube. And what I'm also doing, they are now available, the extendeds, as individual purchases. So if this is just you're a Scorpio, but you can do just Scorpio, even though you have other placements, and you don't have to like come into the TheArteagan community on Patreon. I know that we're okay. So you're going to gaze upon all three of these piles, and you will figure out which one is calling to you. You're going to figure out which one is like, oh, it's this one, this one, this one, and it's going to have your message. However, if there is not a pull or anything towards any of these piles, don't worry, because at the very end, I will read all of this together, okay? So what I'm getting for you is very interesting because I'm going to talk about this at the solar eclipse June 10th. I'll be live streaming on YouTube about it. Your download is hearkening back over this past year, paying on karma, since you're paying on last year's karma. And that's not personal just to you. That's all of us, but it's just coming up in this weekly for you. So you want to go back to April, May, June 2020. What was going on in April 2020, in May 2020, in June 2020? And that is because next week's solar eclipse in Gemini, is taking place over the same area that Venus retrograded right over in your very deep house. So I'm feeling like there are issues of sexuality coming up for you, Scorpio, at this time, that there are issues of trust and bonding, intimacy, giving and sharing. I'm actually picking up for some of you, not for all of you, not for most of you actually, but for maybe one or two of you that I'm connecting with through the interwebs, I'm actually picking up on an opportunity for energy work, because I'm psychic, and I'm a psychic, and I train people to be psychic over on Patreon. And the higher tiers are where you are learning to be a psychic, to harness your psychic ability, learning tarot, how to read tarot cards for yourself and other people, learning the basics of astrology. The smaller tiers, the first couple tiers, that's more readings from me. So more energy work. So it's like you do the energy work in the lower tiers, and you grow and you spiritually evolve, and you get the heads up on what's coming and how to use the energies. And then when you're ready for the later tiers, that's when you are doing more energy work for yourself or for other people. So the energy work, Scorpio, this is happening. This is like a powerhouse for you. It's your house. So let's take a look. If you're feeling this pile over here, we've got the 8 of arrows, the 8 of swords, again, and the temperance and the 3 of wands. Oh, hey. Hello. Okay, so Scorps, if this pile is your pile, your message is to free yourself, to absolutely free yourself of the bondage, whether that is loving someone that doesn't want to love you, whether that is holding on to what your parents did or didn't do to you, and they're not in the picture anymore, or whether that is resenting a sibling of yours and they're not in the picture anymore, whether like whatever it is, it's something that has a hold on to you. So in all of those instances, it's not about those people. It's not about who rejected you or who you rejected. This is about you using everyone else as a means to control yourself. This is like falling in love with people that are always unavailable for some reason or another. We're not judging. I would always rather understand than judge. No judgment here. I don't want to trigger anybody. But this is like always being with someone that you just can't be with for some reason or another. Maybe they live really far away. Maybe they are, they're gay and you're straight, or you're gay and they're straight, or they have some kind of disability. I don't know. But for some reason, it's like that's the one you want. Well, you attract a lot of people. You're choosing the one that can't be with you for some reason. So why are you using that person to stay in your Eight of Swords confinement? Take the responsibility. I'm going to talk to you a little bit. I don't know. I'm feeling really like it's probably the Mars-Pluto opposition that's making me like this. But I'm very like, okay, so giving it to you like super straight, super duper duper straight. You or someone else you're connecting to. If this totally doesn't resonate, maybe this is describing someone in your energy field. And if that's the case, if this is your mom and this is your sister and they're just going on about like the same thing and you're like, dude, let it go. You know, you need a boundary. If someone else is doing, it's all in this energy work, don't judge them. I recommend to not judge them. I would always rather understand than judge. And that's what I teach my people. I would just say, put up a boundary with that person. Just put up a boundary and you conserve your energy. Okay. If this middle pile is what you're feeling, again, we have Psyche, the Princess of Arrows, Page of Swords energy, and another Three of Wands with the 10 of Wands covering it. There's an issue with expectation here, Scorpio, an issue of expectation yourself, expectations on other people's expectations of you. This is a time, tomorrow is like the second Mercury square Neptune, Mercury's retrograde. So there's going to be communication or a theme coming from the past that I'm getting April, May, June 2020. So look at what was going on there. If you were sorting through something difficult, if you were thinking about something specific, if there were, you know, look at the people in your life, your DMs, your photos, your text messages, your emails, what was going on, because there's something here with expectation. There's a test of integrity and it's very heavy. It's heavy for you. It's heavy for everyone involved. And it looks like you're choosing these high expectations and it may just fall back onto you. Be careful. I'm getting also over giving. You might feel like you're giving so much of your emotions and so much of yourself, but that may be a form of emotional manipulation. And it's maybe just crossing boundaries and baggage for the other person that you may not perceive because of your own cognitive dissonance. So you might feel like you're being rejected, or you might be feeling victimized, or you might be feeling like someone's being cruel or harsh with you. But they just have boundaries, or they're just standing up for themselves, or whatever it happens to be. So that's what I'm getting with all on this 10 of Wands, 10 of Wands and this 3 of Wands. It's like, it might just be too much. Okay. If this energy is your energy, your message, we have the 8 of Coins, the 8 of Pentacles, the 2 of Pentacles, and the Moon. So there might be something happening at work that you don't know what to do about. You don't know what to do or what's going to happen next. If you're watching this in real time on Friday, June 4th, we are like in the dark portal in between eclipses. And this is when you can walk through and like do something amazing and come out the other side. The only thing is that people are really scared. I'm thinking of like the TikTok walk, like the slow, where they do okay, anyway. So but the thing about that, about being able to go through the portal and to come out the other side like a super great, strong winner of it, is to trust your intuition. Because people, especially with this eclipse portal, with Mercury retrograding and in the square to Neptune, and they're both in like super strong placements, it's even harder for people to trust their intuition, because number one, people are not really used to doing energy work. They're not really used to building up their intuition. And even if they are, we're being fed disinformation. And that's the one way that the intuition can work wonkily, is when we're fed when it's fed disinformation. So there's so much of that going around, as we all know. So I understand, I give that to you. It's really hard, but this is the opportunity, the energy work opportunity. So any of you guys that are interested in your psychic ability, in developing your intuition, that's for you. Like, absolutely, that's for you. Okay. So I'm just saying that if there's a work thing you're hyper focused on it, that's another issue. You're hyper focused on this thing, and you're taking this thing and you're making it so huge. So if you listen to your intuition, and it's going to be hard, especially when we still deal with compulsive or obsessive behavior, it's so hard for us. And in those cases, there's no way that we're going to be able to make like really great decisions. And our intuitions are not developed enough because we haven't healed and because we haven't exorcised certain shadow parts of ourselves. So even when we do the thing that we feel is right, it's still going to lead us to pain and heartbreak. And that's because we need the experience in order to grow from those experiences. So, you know, we're going to be real here. We're going to help you guys. So, don't let that scare you off either, Scorpio, or whoever this person in your life is, because we have to do it. We all have to do that. It's like, you know, texting that person. It's like, I know I'm going to feel so horrible when I text them, but I can't help myself. And you've been not texting them for months, and then you just text them, and then it blows up in your face, and you're like, I knew it, or whatever, you know. It's that. It's kind of like that. Okay. All together, if this is a work situation, because there's a lot of wands here. Yeah, I'm getting, there's a lot of wands and pentacles. The Two of Pentacles, the Eight of Pentacles. You have these 2, 3 of Wands. I feel like you're overdoing it. I feel like you're kind of tweaking yourself out here. You're tweaking yourself out, but you're doing it to yourself. I'm not really getting that this is all very in your own energy. So there may be an opportunity to heal this, and you may be able to do some energy work upcoming on this. Maybe it's not something that'll take 6 months to a year or a couple years. Maybe once you understand, and if you're like, your psyche's ready to accept all this, maybe you can start working on it like tonight, today, right now. Or this person, if you're, hey, cross watcher, welcome. You'll have to make that judgment, but I do see that there's some boundaries crossing, and there's issues psychologically. And so if people can't accept that about themselves, if they can't see themselves as someone that maybe would cross boundaries or maybe would hurt someone else, there's no way they're going to heal themselves, so they don't do that again, so they don't manipulate again, so that they don't act that way again. And they're just dangerous. They're dangerous to themselves, they're dangerous to other people, and they're going to hold on to that cognitive dissonance that's going to let them walk around never being able to see themselves, see the shadow parts of themselves, so they never address it. And then they're going to stay, you or someone else here is going to stay in this like weird little world where they think that they're, maybe you or this person, maybe you think that that's what cognitive dissonance is. It's like, I'm a peaceful person. I do yoga. I'm a peaceful person. But maybe you like cross boundaries with like your yoga teacher, and like maybe they're married, and maybe something happened and you paint yourself to be the victim of the situation. And maybe it was not the case. Maybe you sort of compromised that yoga teacher in some weird manipulative way. And then you go to a different yoga school like, oh, that all happened to me, even though you were the one that like totally stirred that pot and got all messy with it. So you know what I'm saying? It's kind of like those. Okay, anyway. So I'm going to take this over to the flip side. There's obviously a lot of energy work that we've got to do here. Like I said, this is not for like every single Scorpio out there. I feel like there's probably just one of you that are going to take this for the psychic part, which is a fun part for me to talk about. But anyway, the more mundane part, you guys know that's like more of the low, denser type stuff that I talk about. So that I see here. So I love you, Scorps. Take really good care. And hello, everybody. Until next week, many beautiful blessings upon all of your beautiful heads, darlings. Don't forget, I'm on Instagram and TikTok. Watch Natalie. And you can join us at the link below if any of this is resonating. Toodaloo, darlings. Mwah.